In the border battle, the White House floated busing migrants to the districts of political foes. Overnight, the startling new report. Whistleblowers say the White House pushed for the busing of detained immigrants from the southern border to the streets of sanctuary cities in an effort to punish political rivals like House Speaker Nancy Pelosi.
Also this morning, WikiLeaks founder Julian Assange defiant after being dragged out of the Ecuadorian embassy, charged with hacking U.S. military and diplomatic secrets. His fight to avoid extradition to the U.S.
The new threat this morning from that deadly spring blizzard. 5 states on alert after the record-breaking storm, dropping more than 2 feet of snow, wreaking havoc on roads.
New trouble for Michael Avenatti, the lawyer who took on President Trump, now facing the possibility of decades behind bars, accused of stealing millions from his own clients to fund a lavish lifestyle.
Wendy Williams taking a stand. The talk show host now filing for divorce from her husband of more than 20 years. What we're learning about the outcome she vowed would never happen.
To infinity and beyond.
And new this morning, Disney Plus finally revealed the vault of your favorite classics unlocked for good. Brand new stories from the Star Wars universe, Marvel's Avengers, and inside Pixar like you've never seen it before. And look who just joined the family.
Homer Simpson here.
Get ready for a whole new world.
I'm kidding. Watch this.
Watch out. Live in Times Square, this is Good Morning America.
Good morning, America. It's great to have you with us on this Friday morning, and a lot of excitement about the big Disney announcement, Disney Plus. Yeah.
Plus, it's coming.
A lot of excitement right here in the building because we're going to hear from the Disney folks later in the show. We can hear them warming up in the hallways this morning. It's really good. Stay with us for that. We do have a lot more on that coming up, but also a lot of news to get to, starting with that big headline overnight out of Washington.
Yeah, big revelation coming out of the White House on the border battle. The Trump White House pushed for the transfer of detained immigrants to the streets of sanctuary cities like San Francisco to punish political rivals. Immigration officials pushed back on the plan, calling it illegal and unwise. Our chief White House correspondent John Carl has the story. Good morning, John.
Good morning, George. It sounds too outlandish to be true, but the White House is confirming that there was consideration given here to a plan to take undocumented immigrants who cross the border illegally and move them to the streets of cities governed by Democrats opposed to the president's immigration policies. The plan, reported first by the Washington Post and confirmed by ABC News, would have transported the migrants to so-called sanctuary cities, where local leaders have a policy of not cooperating with federal immigration officials. The idea was first raised in November, shortly after the midterm elections, when the president was raising alarms about caravans of undocumented immigrants coming from Central America to seek asylum in the United States.
The Democrats want open borders, and they want these people coming in. Many of those people are criminals, okay?
The plan, which would have moved migrants to districts represented by political foes of the president, including Nancy Pelosi, was reported to Congress by whistleblowers within the Department of Homeland Security, according to the Washington Post. And the Post reports the White House first asked the Department of Homeland Security to review the idea in an email that added, "There is not a White House decision on this." In a statement released just after the story broke, the White House said this was just a suggestion that was floated and rejected, which ended any further discussion. But the White House asked DHS again to explore the idea in February, in the midst of the government shutdown, when the president was battling Democrats over funding for the border wall. Overnight, Speaker of the House Nancy Pelosi's spokeswoman said in a statement, "The extent of this administration's cynicism and cruelty cannot be overstated. Using human beings, including little children, as pawns in their warped game to perpetuate fear and demonize immigrants is despicable and, in some cases, criminal." A senior Department of Homeland Security official tells ABC News that the president himself raised this idea directly with then Secretary of DHS Kirstjen Nielsen. Nielsen asked the legal team at the Department of Homeland Security to review the idea. They flatly rejected it, Cecilia, saying it is simply illegal.
A lot of tough questions for the White House later today. John Carl, thank you. We are going to turn now to the latest on WikiLeaks founder Julian Assange, in custody right now in England. And this morning he is battling extradition to the U.S., where he's charged with hacking U.S. military and diplomatic secrets. ABC's David Wright joins us now from London. David, you're hearing more about the questions so many have been asking. Why now?
That's right, Cecilia. We're learning today that the effort to remove Assange from this embassy has been in the works for some time. But sources tell ABC News that Assange himself learned just yesterday morning that they were throwing him out, even as British police were already here ready to drag him out. And we're told that as they did drag him out, he yelled out saying that they're just pawns of the U.S. government. Julian Assange defiantly threw his supporters the thumbs up as the British police van arrived at the courthouse for what's likely to be the first of many hearings. This on the heels of that very public arrest in London Thursday. A friend of Assange, Pamela Anderson, tweeted, "He looks very bad." To his defenders, Assange is a radical whistleblower for the digital age.
This is a dark day for journalism.
This sets a dangerous precedent for all media organizations and journalists.
But in court, the judge took a different view, calling Assange a narcissist who cannot get beyond his own selfish interests. U.S. authorities have wanted to arrest him for nearly a decade, ever since WikiLeaks first published a trove of stolen military secrets, including this video of U.S. forces killing Iraqi civilians by mistake. U.S. officials say Assange helped Chelsea Manning, a former soldier, crack password-protected files on a classified government computer, a charge that carries a 5-year prison sentence. The indictment does not mention WikiLeaks' more recent role during the 2016 election, disseminating Democratic emails stolen by Russian hackers. During the campaign, candidate Trump said he was a fan.
This just came out. WikiLeaks. I love WikiLeaks. This WikiLeaks stuff is unbelievable. This WikiLeaks is like a treasure trove.
Now, not so much.
Mr. President, do you still love WikiLeaks?
I know nothing about WikiLeaks.
Now, Assange is scheduled for his next court appearance May 2nd. That'll be his first opportunity to address the extradition request. Cecilia?
All right, David Wright, thank you. Joining us now, ABC chief legal analyst Dan Abrams. Let's do a deep dive right into this. This is the debate. Is Assange a journalist or is Assange a thief? David Wright said it. The U.S. government has to walk a really fine line here.
Well, and the indictment walks a very fine line here. The indictment tries to ensure we don't have to answer that question right now, because the indictment does not accuse him of publishing. The crime is not the publishing of the information. He wasn't charged under the Espionage Act, for example. What he was charged with was for assisting Chelsea Manning in trying to crack a password and trying to help her get access to information she wouldn't have had access to in her role at that time. And from the government's perspective, that has nothing to do with journalism. That has to just do with trying to hack into a server that you didn't have access to. And that's a crime.
One thing that surprised a lot of people about this indictment is that it didn't mention WikiLeaks' involvement in the 2016 election, the publication of those Russian-hacked emails of top Democrats. Well, why not?
Well, because as of right now, we don't know that there's any evidence that Assange worked with the Russians to hack. Remember, what we're talking about in the Manning case is actually working with Manning to help hack. There's no evidence right now that we have with regard to Assange and that with the Russians.
But there may be more coming from the government.
There could be more coming. This could be the first step.
Okay.
Dan Abrams, thanks.
All right, thank you, Dan. Now to the deadly spring blizzard that's pounding the Midwest. Snow is still coming down this morning. There's more than 2 feet of snow in some areas and whiteout conditions as well that are wreaking havoc on roads. ABC's Alex Perez is in St. Cloud, Minnesota with the latest. Good morning, Alex.
Hey, good morning, Michael. For a lot of people, this is day 3 of blizzard-like conditions and heavy snow. Now, I want you to take a look at all of this from a different angle. You can see the snow mounds are growing. Crews are working around the clock to keep up. This morning, the blizzard pummeling the Midwest, wreaking havoc across 6 states, turning deadly. In St. Cloud, Minnesota, an overturned car, tractor trailers facing the wrong way, highways nearly invisible to drive in. Listen as roaring winds and chunks of hail pound windows. Wind gusts knocking down light posts and even this trooper directing traffic around this jackknife semi. Overnight, over 200 miles of I-29 shut down from the Canadian border down to South Dakota due to no visibility and hazardous driving conditions. Earlier on the interstate, semi-trucks sliding into ditches, and this truck submerged in water. Near Fargo, this tractor-trailer carrying at least 6 cars needing to be pulled back onto the road. And take a look at this, the flooding across roadways, a rare occurrence from a storm that crippled almost half of the country. In Colorado, one person was killed near Denver's airport, and a state trooper was injured when his cruiser was hit by another car. Watch as this gas station goes dark in Minnesota, where over 14,000 still remain without power. And lightning illuminating Chicago's skyline as this monster storm pushes east. And that is the good news here. The major parts of this storm finally moving on out of here. George?
Thank goodness for that. Okay, Alex, thanks very much. Now to that new trouble for Michael Avenatti. The former lawyer for Stormy Daniels and foe of President Trump is now facing dozens of charges for stealing millions from clients. If convicted, Avenatti could spend decades behind bars. Whit Johnson here with the details. Good morning, Whit.
George, good morning to you. Michael Avenatti says that he's made powerful enemies over the years, but prosecutors pulled no punches, characterizing the flashy lawyer as a thief, a fraud, and a liar who took advantage of his own clients.
This morning, brash celebrity attorney Michael Avenatti now fighting for his own freedom. Prosecutors accusing the man who once considered running for president of stealing millions of dollars from clients to fund a lavish lifestyle, from reportedly sporting a watch worth tens of thousands to a flashy race car business and this private jet now seized by the feds.
It is Lawyer 101. You do not steal your client's money.
Avenatti soaring to fame by representing porn star Stormy Daniels in a case against President Trump. The attorney now facing 36 charges, including wire fraud, tax fraud, bank fraud, and perjury, and what prosecutors describe as a complex web of lies and financial back channels between his law firm, Troubled Seattle Coffee Company, and other businesses.
Typically in the form of payments designed to string along victims so as to prevent Mr. Avenatti's financial house of cards from collapsing.
In one case, Jeffrey Johnson, a paraplegic man, won a $4 million settlement from L.A. County. The indictment claiming Avenatti hid that money from his client for years, giving Johnson just enough for rent at an assisted living facility. If convicted, he could face up to 335 years in prison.
Get him in the vehicle, please.
Avenatti is also facing federal charges in New York, accused of trying to extort millions of dollars from Nike.
And Avenatti is also firing back on Twitter, saying, quote, "I intend to fully fight all charges and plead not guilty," but a long legal battle ahead for him.
For sure. Okay, Whit, thank you. We're going to turn now to new developments in the Jussie Smollett saga. Overnight, the city of Chicago officially sued the embattled actor after he refused to reimburse the city for the cost of its investigation into his attack claims. ABC's Stephanie Ramos has more.
Jussie, what about an apology? After being largely out of the public eye, Empire star Jussie Smollett appeared this week vacationing in Hawaii. A world away in Chicago, the city formally filing a civil complaint against Smollett after his refusal to reimburse the city for what it says are more than $130,000 in police overtime costs accrued. The city says dozens of officers and detectives spent weeks investigating what they call false claims about that alleged attack.
I don't know if y'all been reading the blogs and all that foolishness, but it's kind of been a tough week.
The filings also alleging a specific timeline of the January 29th incident, claiming that Smollett planned it with brothers Abel and Ola Osendero only 4 days prior. The documents also claim Smollett was in direct contact with the brothers about an hour before the attack later that night and the following morning. The filing comes weeks after prosecutors announced they were dismissing all 16 felony counts against Smollett, enraging city officials.
Given that he doesn't feel any sense of contrition and remorse, my recommendation is when he writes the check, in the memo section, he can put the word, "I'm accountable," for the hoax.
We've reached out to Smollett's team. They have not commented on this, but his attorney, Smollett's attorney, says that he denies making any false statements. Now, the city is asking for $130,000, which could triple. And guys, they're also tacking on legal costs that the city has accrued.
Big fight ahead.
All right.
Thanks, Stephanie.
Thanks, Stephanie. And now to the huge celebration of 33-year-old rapper and activist Nipsey Hussle's life. More than 20,000 packing into the LA Staples Center for his memorial service. It is the first and only one held there to honor an entertainer since Michael Jackson's. His girlfriend Lauren London gave this touching tribute.
His soul was majestic. He was the strongest man that I ever knew, a gentle father, a patient leader, a divine light. He was brilliant. He researched everything, completely self-taught, constantly seeking knowledge.
And a letter from former President Obama was read. It said, while most folks look at the Crenshaw neighborhood where he grew up and see only gangs, bullets, and despair, Nipsey saw potential, he saw hope. He really invested everything he had back into the community. It's a big loss.
And you can see what the community's giving back right
Exactly.
now. We're going to switch gears now. Some news close to home. Our parent company Disney unveiling new streaming service Disney Plus. It will bring top movies and shows direct to you. Disney chief Bob Iger promises it'll be a game changer for consumers. And Adrian Bankert had the chance to sit down with him to talk about it.
For the first time ever, the Disney Vault is unlocked forever.
That's a big deal. All Disney in one place never existed before. That's going to Disneyland every day of the week.
The groundbreaking streaming service Disney Plus will be the new permanent home to Disney's entire catalog of movies. Classics like Mary Poppins.
For a spoonful of sugar helps the medicine go down.
Snow White.
With a smile and a song.
And The Little Mermaid.
Under the sea. Under the sea. Nobody beat us, fry us, and eat us in fricassee.
The new service also will be the only place to find films from Marvel, Pixar, and Star Wars. It'll also be the home of an expanded Star Wars universe, the new series The Mandalorian, set to premiere later this year. We sat down with Disney chairman and CEO Bob Iger.
Yes. Someone asked me today, on a scale of 1 to 10, what is this? I said, I don't know, 15.
What's the magic behind Disney Plus that will separate it from other streaming services?
Well, I think those brands and the connection that people have to those brands. So this sets us apart from the rest of the world because of that connection that people have to, you know, these beloved storytellers, really.
Homer Simpson here, proud addition to the Disney family and soon appearing on Disney Plus.
The extensive library includes hit shows including The Simpsons, films like The Sound of Music, and exclusive original programming, which will include 2 new Marvel series, one based on Falcon and the Winter Soldier.
Stop.
Another starring Loki.
What would you say this is? Is it a reimagination? Is it a transformation for the company?
This is an extension for the company of what it has done for 96 years, which is tell great stories that entertain the world, people of all generations, that because the stories that we tell tend to touch people's hearts, they kind of live forever. What we actually try to do is not live up to their expectations. We try to exceed their expectations.
And Disney Plus launches in November. It will cost $6.99 a month. And the movie behind us here, Captain Marvel, will be the most recent release added to the library from day one. Pretty exciting, guys.
Really exciting. All right, Adrian, thank you. Also this morning, talk show host Wendy Williams is filing for divorce from her husband of more than 2 decades. We've got the latest on that ahead. But first, let's go over to Rob. Hey, Rob.
Hey, good morning again. We are going to reload the atmosphere after this blizzard exits tomorrow. A severe weather threat from Houston, Dallas over towards New Orleans and Memphis. Freeport in the bullseye here. Tornadoes possible. Time now for your weekend getaways, brought to you by ADP.
I'm working to keep the fire going for another 150 years.
To inspire confidence through style.
I'm working to make connections of a different kind.
I'm working for beauty that begins with nature.
To treat every car like I treat mine.
At ADP, we're designing a better way to work so you can achieve what you're working for.
An overcast sky out the door this morning, but at least it's milder. Now, you are going to need the umbrella today. Chance of showers after 1 o'clock. Some gustier thunderstorms for your evening, 9, 10, 11 p.m. Again, 73 the high temperature for today. And rain gear early tomorrow, Saturday. The showers end, and then we'll have a little bit of sunshine. 76 your high. Weather alert for Sunday, the high 76 with gusty thunderstorms for your afternoon.
A whole lot going on this Friday mornings. We'll tell you about Wendy Williams when we come back. Stick with us.
Hi, I'm Bob Harper, and I recently had a heart attack. It changed my life, but I'm a survivor. After my heart attack, my doctor prescribed Brilinta. It's for people who have been hospitalized for a heart attack.
Brilinta is taken with a low-dose aspirin, no more than 100 milligrams.